What up and welcome to the Beneath the Dirt podcast. I'm your host, Ron Bone. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 153 in the high. What's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in, whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcasting app. Much love. And what is good? Hope everybody's staying safe out there. All that good shit. Yeah. What's really good out there? What is really good? Beautiful day over here. Beneath the dirt. It's very nice outside. Fall is feeling like it's here. Summer is like over at this point. I don't know if it's feeling like that where you're at, but that's how it's feeling here. Summer is over. Fall's here. Halloween's coming. Season of the pumpkin. Hallowicked. Fright Fest. All that good stuff. And we just chilling. Vibing out. We gonna get into today's episode, but first, I want to send a couple big fucking shout outs. We got 2 donations in this week. I want to send a big shout out to the homie Stockwell. Shout out to Stockwell. Sending in a donation. He writes, I listen every week. Keep it up, Stockwell. Thank you. Much love. Horrorcore aficionado, if you will. Stockwell, he is, yes. And I want to give another shout out to Chris S. Sent in another donation. He wrote, keep going. By the way, you ever check out OT The Real? He has a feature on Paz's new record and has a new record out himself. Super dope. Thank you for the donation. Super appreciated. I am familiar with OT The Real from features that he's done with albums. I've seen a couple clips of his online. Never listened to any albums, anything like that. But I am familiar with who he is. Just never checked out any of his solo albums. But thank you again for the donations. The donations, just super appreciated, man. They go to better the show. If you don't know, then you know. Or now you know. Some shit like that. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. Shit just be coming out of my mouth. And I don't even know what the fuck is what sometimes. So, yeah. Let's skip past the bullshit. Let's get into some new music that dropped this week. Not much dropped this week, but we did get a couple tracks that dropped this week. One of them, we got Jarren Benton dropped a new track. I guess we got this new 8-Bit Bully series. He ain't doing the Bully freestyles no more, but we are doing the 8-Bit Bully series. And he dropped his new track, When It Goes Dark, featuring Demrick and Oba Rowland. It's on all DSPs right now. This track's it's dope, man. This is what Jarren Benton does. Just been dropping heat, dropping dope-ass singles for the damn near last 2 years. Hasn't dropped an album in a minute now, but dropping new singles. I really dig it. The 8-Bit Bully, instead of sampling, I believe before he was just sampling rock songs, right? I remember there was Manson. I think he had System of a Down sample in there somewhere. But now we're sampling video game music. Now, I couldn't tell you what he was sampling on this song. I do like video games, but I never really paid much attention to the music. I know there's people out there that love video game music. Like there's just there's classic video game music out there that, I just don't know. Like if it ain't Mario or like Sonic or Tetris, some shit like that, I just don't know video game music really like that. Or like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Does that even count? It's not even really original music. That's just them using bands music and stuff. But Jarren Benton, 8-Bit Bully. The first single, When It Goes Dark, featuring Demrick and Oba Rowland, out now. I think the song's a banger. I think Jarren Benton's just been killing it with these singles, man. Just steady releasing singles, and, can't really be mad at it. I'd like to get a new album at some point, but if he just keeps bringing the heat with the singles, then I guess we'll just take the singles as it is. And, so new Jarren Benton, that's out now. We got new Choirboy Dank. He dropped a new single. I saw him post this early last week saying it was available on all digitals. I couldn't even find it on YouTube, Apple Music, anywhere. It eventually made its way to all the DSPs. It is available now. The single is called Domestic Violence. It is out now. I listened to it once. Not my favorite Choirboy Dank song. But, you know, can't win them all, I guess. But the new single is out there. It's one of the few music releases that did drop this week. So wanted to get out there. If you don't know, now you fucking know. And yeah, so go peep that. And then we got Gift of Gab. Gift of Gab dropped a new album. Rest in peace to Gift of Gab. He dropped his new album that he had recorded before he had passed. Like, this album was already done, and they're just releasing it now. It's called Finding Inspiration Somehow. I did listen to probably the first 4 or 5 songs, something like that. Didn't really get too deep into it, but it's what you expect of Get the Gab. Dude rapping his ass off, especially the first track, Slotted M Godly. Dude just like just kills it. I don't even think he breathed once on that entire track. Just destroyed that song. But I'm definitely going to dive into this. Gift of Gab, super dope, super like just lyrical hip hop. Formerly a Blackalicious. I'm not even familiar with Blackalicious. I just know Gift of Gab. I know he's part of Blackalicious or was part of Blackalicious, but yeah. New Gift of Gab is out there. Rest in peace to Gift of Gab. Very fucking sad. And yeah. Let's we fucking skating right along. Those first few tracks. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Just get right into the fucking shit. Just get right into the fucking shit. Stop wasting any more fucking time. Twiztid, Unlikely Prescription is out now. It's everywhere. Hard copies. Hard copies everywhere. I even got the long box record store exclusive. You can see right here if you're watching on YouTube. I even got the regular version, standard version from Twiztid Shop. The old people were getting their CDs mad early. Like, I don't think anybody ever got a pre-order CD this early. At least I haven't, from M&E store. I think I got mine, Tuesday afternoon. I didn't dive into it till Wednesday. So I got to live with the album for a few days before it was actually out and for everybody to hear it, because not everybody buys hard copies anymore. Most people ask, why are CDs still even around? But I ask, please, or I say, please don't ever take CDs away. But anyway, I got to live with the album for probably 4 or 5 days now. And is 100% a rock album front to back. There's a little bit of rapping on this album, but mostly singing type shit, screaming, a little bit sprinkled in there. But this is 100% a rock album. No fucking rap beats or anything like that. And, as to be expected, it was being promoted as a rock album. All the singles were rock singles. So, yeah. What do I think of the album? I don't even know where to go with this. We'll start out with the good, I guess. We'll start with the good in saying that this is the best sounding rock stuff, best sounding rock shit Twiztid has put out yet. Like, there's a lot of different producers on this album. Draven produced some shit. I saw Seven produce some shit. Zeus. Some other people, Johnny Andrews, I believe, is a name I saw on there. I don't know who that is. Bunch of different names, bunch of different producers produced songs on this album. And it's the best sounding rock stuff. Like, this, better than anything off, Mutant. Even, it kind of picks up where Generation Nightmare left off with the few rock songs that they had on that album. Kind of picks up where that left off. And best sounding rock shit. Jamie Madrox stole the show on Unlikely Prescription. This dude kills it on this album. Kills it. He does a really good job on this album. Monoxide kind of feels awkward, out of place on some songs, in my opinion. But Jamie Madrox stole the show on here. Absolutely killed it. Yeah. But for me, personally, this album isn't really for me. It's just not. It just isn't. Like the type of rock music that this is, it just isn't my kind of fucking style. Outside of a few songs on here, like I'm thinking, I think there's like 4 bangers on this album. The 4 bangers on this album, Twist and Shatter. I've seen a lot of people say that this is the song right here. I agree. The hook on Twist and Shatter is fire. Madrox killed that shit. Super dope hook on Twist and Shatter. That could be on the radio. Although I do like that song a lot, this is one of those songs where Monoxide does kind of feel a little out of place, in my opinion. Just seems weird. But the hook and Madrox parts more than make up for it. The song is a fucking banger. I love that song. Another super dope song, Confused. Love that song. Super dope. Rose Petal. Arguably still my favorite song on the album. I love Rose Petal. Since it first came out damn near a year ago, I've loved Rose Petal from the first time I heard it until the last time I've heard it, and just a super dope song. Another song I don't see people talking about that has another killer hook on it is Dead Instead. That song is probably my second favorite song on the album. That shit is fire. Super dope track. Love that hook. Fucking just super dope. I love the hook on there. Not seeing enough people talk about Dead Instead. And then the other song on here, Perfect Problem. I like that. I like that song since it was released as a single as well. Still do. So those are what? 5 songs out of 15 for me. And that's pretty much it, man. Outside of that, it's just not my style. I'll say that. Not my style. And it's just some bad songs on here too. We've talked about Neon Vamp. Like that's just not a good song, in my opinion. Parasite. Like that song made me angry the first time I heard it. Like next, please do not want to listen to that shit. And they made a video for it, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then Envy. I can't fucking stand that song. And actually, another song that I don't mind on here is No Change featuring Matt B from Ashes to New. When they dropped this as a single, I think I turned it off halfway through the hook. The first hook, the first time I listened to it, I was like, I don't know. But now, listening to it, I kind of like that track. I like the rapping on there. Even Matt B on there, does his thing on there. Nothing incredible, but it's a good song. I like it. So, 5, 6 songs on the album. I kind of wish Monoxide just would have been the rapper guy on the Rock Project. Monoxide, the rapper, greater than sign times 5 over a Monoxide trying to sing and overlayering his vocals, them adding so many effects to his vocals to make it sound halfway good. It doesn't work for me. Like Monoxide singing, he couldn't sing on Mirror Mirror. Remember that? I can't sing for shit. He said that. Well, fast forward 16, 20 years later, whatever the fuck, still can't sing. I wish he rapped a lot more on this album. Monoxide the rapper, I will take that over Monoxide the singer any day. But Madrox, I almost kind of wish this was a Madrox solo album, you know? But it's fucking Twiztid album, it is what it is. It's their first real rock album. Pretty experimental for them, even though they've done plenty of rock stuff over the years. We got the Beneath the Dirt Weekly Bumps playlist. I did a best of Twiztid rock songs. Pretty much, I took a song. If an album had a rock song on it, I'd probably put it on that playlist. At least one, because some albums have more than one, but they've always dabbled in the rock shit, but this is like their first time doing the album. So, they're trying to find their footing on here. I don't think, for me personally, is not it. There's a handful of tracks on here that are fire, that are really like Twist and Shatter is. I say Rose Petal is my favorite, but if I listen to Twist and Shatter more, and I've already listened to it a bunch, like that Twist and Shatter and Rose Petal are like my instant go-tos, with Dead Instead right after Rose Petal. If I keep listening to Twist and Shatter, that might be my new favorite over Rose Petal. That is such a good song. That hook is just so good. So good. And that's pretty much the general consensus or the comments that I've been seeing online from people. Twist and Shatter, that hook is fire. A lot of people like this album. Some people don't. I think it's to be expected. This album is it's going to be 50-50 with people. You're going to fucking love it or you're going to hate it, or there might be a couple songs that you like on there. I think I fall into that category. There are a couple songs on here, but for the most part, the album just ain't for me, this style of rock. I've said it before on this show, like with rock music, I don't know what it is, but I don't have any rhyme or reason to any style of rock music I listen to. It's just either I like it or I don't. I guess that goes with fucking anything though. But I'll have some of my friends show me a band that'll sound like another band that I listen to, and I'll be like, nah, this shit's trash. I don't like it. You know what I mean? But, the album is out. And yeah. How do you feel about Twiztid's Unlikely Prescription? I've already asked on social medias what people have thought of the album, what they think of it, So, lots of flame emojis, some poop emojis. But I think for their first step or their first real rock project, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think they got to figure out what they got to do, because Monoxide already said that, was it on a live stream or was it at the seminar at Astronomicon, saying that Zeus, the dude who mixed or mastered this album, is going to be producing the next Twiztid record. So we got to assume that's going to be another rock record, and we'll see what kind of direction they go in with that, with one producer, instead of a whole bunch. They had a whole bunch of producers on here, but Zeus is going to produce the next one. So it looks like we're going to get another rock album from Twiztid. But Unlikely Prescription is out. It hit the iTunes charts pretty good. Debuted at number 4 on the rock iTunes charts, behind Metallica, Samantha Fish, and Iron Maiden. And then it debuted at number 25 overall albums on iTunes. Pretty fucking good. Props to Twiztid for debuting on the iTunes chart like that. I had made the comment on Twitter saying, man, you could tell rock music is in a bad state right now by looking at the charts. The top 10 rock charts on iTunes, 3 of them is Metallica's Black Album. 3 different variations of Metallica's Black Album in the top 10. And I think there was including Twiztid's album, like 4 new albums that had dropped either this week or recently in the top 10. Something like that. It was like 3 or 4. And I'm like, yo, and I had people saying like, rock music isn't, you can't base your opinion off the charts. Yeah, I'm not going to say, rock is dead or anything like that based on iTunes charts, but commercially, where is rock music now? If you got Metallica Black Album in the top 10 3 times and no new shit, I mean, Iron Maiden dropped some new shit. I didn't even know they were still around. Who the fuck is singing for Iron Maiden these days? But regardless, Twiztid debuted at number 5 on the fucking rock charts. And that's dope. So yeah, I don't even know why I just went on that little fucking tangent, but I did. But fuck it, right? And as we said earlier, Twiztid dropped a music video. I apologize for the technical difficulties if you're watching on fucking YouTube right now, but they dropped the music video for the song Parasite off Unlikely Prescription. The visuals are dope. I like the music videos that they've been doing for the Unlikely Prescription album. Much better than anything that was happening during the quarantine. We was getting a lot of green screen specials. The video's dope. I don't like the song. I think it's one of the weaker songs on the album. But the video is out for Parasite. And I think we got still 1 or 2 more videos coming from the Unlikely Prescription album at some point. No word when, but at some point we are getting, more videos off this album. 15 tracks, and yeah. Not necessarily for me, but is it for you? Do you dig it? Let me know what you fucking think. Mikey Clark let us know what he thought of the Unlikely Prescription album. He took to Twitter and he said the new Twiztid album that dropped today is exactly the shot of adrenaline I needed. Thank you, Twiztid. Shit is fire. Wow. So Mikey Clark gave the cosign for the Unlikely Prescription album. I think this was a unexpected cosign from, I don't think anybody was expecting Mikey Clark to comment on this shit, but apparently he really digs the new album, and he put it out there in the Twitterverse, if you will. And I'd like to see Mikey Clark produce some shit for Twiztid. It's been a long time. When was the last time Mikey Clark produced some stuff for Twiztid? Shit, you might have to go back to Green Book on that. Outside of his albums that he did on Psychopathic, those mixtapes that he put out, I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head. But I think it's been a while since Mikey Clark did some stuff for the Demented Duo. I'd like to see him produce. Mikey Clark's definitely capable of producing some rock stuff for Twiztid. He's always dabbled in the rock stuff with his production. So Mikey Clark gave it the fucking thumbs up. And yeah, so new Twiztid is out fucking everywhere. Peep it or don't. I don't give a fuck. I got my 2 copies. I got a vinyl coming in, I think January is when the vinyl's coming, because there's just a huge backlog on vinyl. That's just with everybody, not just Twiztid. That's with everybody. Huge backlog or, wait times on vinyl. So yeah, peep that. Let's get into some Ala-Zululu news. We got new Zul fucking news. Little tidbits of news here. They got the Emporium of Evil going down at Terrortown. This is where they're holding Camp Zul this year. And on October the 2nd, Saturday, they're doing a meet and greet with Ala-Zululu and the super famous Funtime guys meet and greet signing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, at Terratown's Emporium of Evil. I believe Ala-Zululu has a merch booth set up there just every weekend from now till the end of October, probably all the way up until Camp Zool, which I think goes down, second week of October. So yeah, meet and greet October 2nd with Billy Obey, Joe Black, Lee Carver, Eight Legs, Whipstick. Go meet those guys down at the Emporium of Evil. They also dropped another Forever Face this past week. I think, was it last week or the week before, that they had dropped another Dawn of the Dead mask. And here we are with a new 2.1. This is Stingy Jack. And, pumpkin themed mask from Ala-Zululu. It's currently sold out on their web store, but it was up for sale. I think it went up, Tuesday night. They got their Tuesday night terror streams, I believe they're called. And the mask was up and sold the fuck out, as it usually does. So either you got one or you didn't. But the Forever Face 2.1, I can't wait to see the next generation of Forever Face. Like, are we going to get a 3.0 or some shit? We got the 2.0, 2.1. What's going to be next? What's going to be the next face? Maybe for the next album. Are they going to change up faces for each album that they do? It seems like that, anyway. Because they had what? The 1.0 for Head of Horns going into Psycho. And then they had the 2.0 for, I want to say they had the 2.0 when Necronomicon came out. If not, it was definitely the Almighty. And then when Mausoleum came out, right before Mausoleum came out, that's when they debuted 2.1. I believe my timelines could be fucked up, but I'm just going off the top of my head. I don't have no information in front of me. But the Forever Faces are fire. Can't wait to see the next generation of the Forever Face. And just be on the lookout when that shit goes up for order, because it always sells out and sells out quick. And Ala-Zululu, the fuck was that? Ala-Zululu has a pre-order for a t-shirt for Eric May. Eric May, aka Impact, had passed away, I don't think last week, but the week before. And all proceeds from this shirt will go to Eric's family. So that is super dope of Ala-Zululu to do. He was a big fan of Zool. I've seen a bunch of people, Buckshot, Twiztid, giving this dude, shout outs, and, rest in pieces and all that when he had passed. And this is very dope of Ala-Zululu to do. The shirt looks fresh. Looks like an 8 Legs drawing. Definitely looks like his style. So if you want to support this, you can go to longliveevil.com and buy the shirt and help his family in this, sad time. Rest in peace to Impact. It sucks when anybody in the scene dies. So rest in peace to him. Go buy the shirt from Zool. All proceeds will go to his family to help them out in this fucking time. Like I said. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going with some more news in the underground. Shall we? I think we shall. I think Underground Avengers is coming back. I know Buckshot always likes to say, expect the unexpected, which you should. But let's go to Boondocks first. He took to Instagram and posted up this picture of him, getting a little cozy next to that microphone right there. And he wrote, "Can't wait to get back in the studio, have one project completed, starting another very soon, and then one more right after that. Gonna be a bit busy next few months. I mean, this motherfucker stays busy as hell. Been staying busy as shit these last few years. Boondocks putting out projects left and right, group projects, all that. Side projects with the Turncoat Dirty thing, and yeah, he's got another one. Right, he just dropped Turncoat Dirty, the Crypto Dirt project. He said he got another one in the fucking chamber, ready to pull the trigger on it, working on another one, and got another one after that. So this dude, god damn, I'm thinking, or at least hoping, one of those projects will be the Underground Avengers, next Underground Avengers album. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But not to be outdone, Buckshot, I think, posted the very next day. He took to Twitter and he wrote, "For everyone's information, I'm currently working on 5 different projects." This motherfucker's working on 5 projects. No rest for the wicked. I promise y'all, there's so much badass shit in the works. Hashtag Mob Style Monday. This dude got 5 projects in the works. All right, Boondocks got 3. Buckshot got 5. Maybe there is a UGA album coming. And hopefully, I think the Last Matter was the Dark Matter album. And I'd like to see some new UGA, Class, Boondocks, Buckshot. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Buckshot was even teasing immediately, I think the day the album, the Cabal album dropped, saying, "Hey, what if I've already recorded another Cabal album? Like, what if it's already done?" So we could get another Cabal album. We might get another Boondocks Buckshot collab album, like Hell's Kitchen or The Paradigm Shift. What about Double Dragon, Kung Fu, Vampire, and Buckshot? Could they be working on another project? That was a fire ass album. So, I mean, between these two, potentially 8 projects between Buckshot and Boondocks, if none of these projects are collabs between them two. I got to imagine at least one of them is, though. I have to imagine at least one of these projects is Boondocks, Buckshot, minimum them two, if not UGA, or starting a whole nother group or something. I don't know. But, I mean, these dudes stay busy. I mean, Buckshot got the Hollow Bleed coming up. He'd be showing off the CDs, the merch. He's got the coins. I saw him post something saying, if you got the coins, keep the coins. You're going to need the fucking coins from all these pre-order packages that he does. Because you're going to have to cash them in for when you go to hell. He told me not to tell, but I'm telling. So when you go to hell, you have to cash in your mob style coins in hell. Actually, I don't know what the fuck the coins are for. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But Boondocks, Buckshot, staying busy as they have been. No rest for the wicked, just like Buckshot says. And yeah, do you want a new UGA album? Do you just want a new Boondocks Buckshot project? Cabal, I would like another Cabal album. Definitely give me some Kung Fu Vampire Buckshot. That Double Dragon project was fire. Super dope. Still bump that shit. So yeah. Buckshot, Boondocks, busy. And another dude who fucking stays busy pumping out music, good or bad. Tech Nine announced the release date for his album Asinine, dropping October 8th. October 8th, Asinine from Tech Nine is dropping. The cover is super fresh. Strange Music's artwork department has been on point lately. Super on point lately. Love the cover on this shit. And yeah, new Tech Nine album. I have no idea what to expect from this. It seems like we were talking about it last week that Strange ain't doing the EPs anymore and they're just releasing singles again. Maybe they're experiment with releasing, a handful of songs at a time before an album came out didn't work too well. Because I think we've only got, one or two tracks off the Asinine album so far. I'm going to pull it up on iTunes now and see if there's actually a track list or anything for Asinine, if they've even have it uploaded yet. They do not. So, yeah, I think the couple tracks that we have so far from the album are I've Been Through a Lot, Take Your Halo, and Close Your Eyes. I believe those are the singles from the Asinine album. Of course, if you pre-order the album, you get a bonus single, and it is featuring Chris Calico. I haven't heard it yet. Haven't made my pre-order yet, but Tech Nine's one of those artists that I'll buy the album no matter what. Even if I don't hear a song from it beforehand, I buy it no matter what. Tech's one of my all-time favorites. So yeah, the Asinine album dropping October 8th. And yeah, not Chris Calico, King ISO. It was announced, I saw from the It Goes Up Instagram account yesterday or a couple days back, the AWACS King ISO Written in Blood album will be dropping this Friday. This Friday, the album will be, I guess you could say, re-released. They said that they've recorded new songs for the album. You're going to have the original album that dropped a little while back, and then this new version will have some new songs on it. So yeah, people were pissed when this album was taken off all the digital outlets. It was only up for 10, 12 hours, something like that, and then it got ripped off because, Strange got to get their piece of the pie. And yeah, that album will be dropping this Friday. I'm hyped for some solo King ISO shit. We was talking about it on last week's show. I'm ready for a new solo album from King ISO. And what happened to the Collabos albums from Tech Nine? He ain't doing no Collabos albums anymore. It's been a couple years since he's done one. The last few were like strange music collaborations. It wasn't like he was reaching out to outside artists to do the Collabos albums. It was primarily strange music artists. And if you do go to the Strange Music website, the description for the Asinine album, it does state that this album has some pretty big features on it. Now, of the few singles that have been released that are presumably going to be on Asinine, haven't featured any big name artists. So I wonder who they got for. I wonder who Tech got for Asinine. I mean, he's done songs with Lil Wayne, T-Pain, Eminem, Wiz Khalifa, fucking shit, Deftones, Korn, Slipknot, the singers anyway. But I mean, this dude's already got big names, so curious to see who he's got, if they're going to be newer artists or, I don't even know. So I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. But I thought that was an interesting note in the description of the Tech Nine Asinine album up on the Strange Music web store. Another album also dropping October 8th is Token's album. I have to look up the name for it, but it is dropping October 8th. This dude, is he considered underground hip hop? I feel like he borders mainstream hip hop, mainstream and underground. I'm sorry. It's kind of close. He's kind of blown the fuck up. But he's got a new album dropping called Pink is Better, October 8th. I fucks with Token. He's from Salem, Mass. my home state. And this dude is the shit. This dude raps his ass off, and I'll peep it because Token is the shit. And I wonder if he's got any features on it. I know he had Tech Nine on his last album, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Another little interesting news, little nugget of information I saw up on the Instagrams and shit was Triz. He posted up on Instagram, peacing blessings to the Lord mob at Flee Lord, work coming soon. And he posted a picture of himself with Flee Lord. I'm excited for this. I fucks with Flee Lord heavy. If you listen to this podcast, you know I fucks with Flee Lord. Triz is dope as well. I'm not super familiar with his work, but the songs that I have heard, he's been featured on Brother Lynch Hung albums as well. Dude is dope. And I'm curious to hear what these two got in the works. East meets West. Flee Lord is like the definition of grimy New York hip hop. And then Triz is the fucking definition of just that like G-funk, smooth, West Coast gangsta shit. So I'm curious to see what these two dudes got mixing up in the pot. And I'm looking forward to it because I fucks with both artists. And yeah, get into a little bit of ICP news. I forgot to talk about this last week. Shaggy and the Creep Show, we talked about how, last week was they were featured on Your Mom's House. Well, I forgot to talk about they had Straitjacket on the Palcast. And I have still yet to watch this. And I actually forgot about it this week until I was prepping today's show. I came across this picture and I was like, fuck. I can't believe I forgot to talk about this last week and still haven't fucking listened to it. To be honest, haven't even listened to that many podcasts. Been on the road a lot for work. And I just don't listen to podcasts on the road. When you be driving around, that's when you listen to music. When you stuck in the office, pushing paperwork and all that bullshit, that's when you listen to podcasts. At least for me anyway. So I haven't got a chance to listen to this shit. I have no idea what they talked about or if they was just goofing around for the entire time. But Straitjacket was on the Palcast. Straitjacket is working on the Yum Yum Bedlam album. We talked about how he started up his own studio. He's produced shit for Twiztid, mixed shit for Twiztid. This guy seems to be the exception to the rule of being able to work with Twiztid and ICP simultaneously. I wanted to bring this up last week and just fucking completely forgot. But this dude seems to be the exception for that rule. Probably because it's hard for them to find a local engineer that is fucking good. They had brought in some other person, and apparently that didn't work out. Maybe that, for whatever reason, it didn't work out. So they brought Straitjacket back in, and he was on the Palcast. I am going to listen to it at some point, unless they talk about or break any fucking crazy news. I probably won't talk about it, but I got to get back on that Palcast, back into listening to it. But been on the road for work a lot, and I've been listening to just a lot of music on the road. That's what I do on the road. When you're in your whip, tell me, are you listening to podcasts in the car? You're driving on the highway. Your destination's 45 minutes away. Are you bumping a podcast or are you listening to some music? You vibing out, rocking out to some music, getting some of that stress and frustration or whatever else is in you out through the music. That's what the fuck I do when I'm on the road. But yeah, I'm definitely going to peep the podcast at some point. And I've fallen behind on all my fucking podcasts lately. So yeah. But speaking of being on the road, bumping a whole lot of music, I was bumping a whole lot of ICP Forgotten Freshness these last 2 weeks. And I made a post on the social medias. How would you rank the Forgotten Freshness series from ICP? And I put up my ranking. But I just kind of want to talk about the albums real quick because, you know, the first two are like super classic, right? Volume 1 and Volume 2, the double disc, super classic. Some of the material on those albums is like Joker card material, straight the fuck up. It really is. And yeah, so you got that. Then you got, Volume 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the way I guess I'll break it out. Can I fucking talk? Can I talk, asshole? Yeah, you can. All right. So the way I'll break it down is I'll just break it down by my ranking from my least favorite to favorite. So my least favorite, which I ended up finding out was either a lot of people's favorite or number 2. Like people were ranking this Forgotten Freshness really high. And it's Forgotten Freshness 4. To me, there's only like 2 good songs on this album. Like this was really the forgotten stuff that should have stayed forgotten. Some people were including the Hollow Wicked CD that came with it in their ranking. And I said, no, not me. I'm rating just the Forgotten Freshness album. That Hollow Wicked, that's just a bonus disc. But the green cover, Volume 4, for me, is my least favorite. My favorite songs on Forgotten Freshness Volume 4 would be Nobody Move with Mac 10. That song is fire. Like, easily the standout song on that album. And then my other favorite song on this album would be Swallow This Nut with Two Live Crew, MC Breed, and Vanilla Ice. I like that song. I don't know what it is about that song, but I like that song. Every other song on this album just ain't it for me. Never liked Volume 4. Even when it dropped back in the day. Remember the cover for that shit was supposed to smell like a pumpkin? Remember that? It was supposed to smell like a pumpkin. I remember it did have a scent to it, but I don't know if it was pumpkin. But it did have a fucking smell to it for sure. And then I actually have to look up on my page how I ranked it because I can't remember. I just remember Volume 4 being my least favorite. And then my next, coming in at the number 4 spot, would be Volume 6. I kind of dismissed Volume 6 when it first came out. Probably only because I was bitter that I couldn't get the hard copy because it was a VIP exclusive only. But when I was bumping all the Forgotten Freshness albums these past 2 weeks, I was listening to this, and there are some good fucking songs on here. Like, there's some Marvelous Missing Link outtakes on this album that should have made the Marvelous Missing Link albums. Did I say outtakes? Whatever. I don't even know. But there are some Marvelous Missing Link era tracks that should have made the album that are better than the album, better than songs that were on that album. Standout tracks on Volume 6 for me would be These Walls Will Fall. That shit is fire. I like Swings and Chops. Violent J's version of Walk It Out. Violent J wrote Walk It Out for Blaze Ya Dad Homie. And I like it. I like the reference track. It's fun. It's cool to hear the reference track. Shout out to Luke the Goon for having Walk It Out as his favorite Blaze Ya Dad Homie song of all time. And other songs on here I really like would be The Swarm. That's the original version of The Smog that they had recorded for a movie. I really like that version. And the Please Don't Hate Me demo. It's fun to hear the demo, but the version that made the Bizarre album is way better. There are some different lyrics on the demo version. It's fun to hear. I dig it. Volume 6 is not as bad as you probably think. If you haven't heard Volume 6, I say go back to it, listen to it, or if you just haven't heard it, fucking go listen to it because it's not a bad listen at all. I bumped it a couple times these past couple weeks when I was bumping these albums. Then coming in at the number 3 spot would be Volume 5. I'm just thinking about how I already gave my number 1 away, but I think that's a given anyway. Number 3, Volume 5, and really good songs on this project, this volume of Forgotten Freshness as well. We got Right Now is a dope track. Jacob's Word. I feel like I didn't like that song back in the day. I like it a little bit more now. Still not my favorite shit, but a decent song. Mind of Howard Stern. This is when they was on the Howard Stern show all the time back in the day. They made a song for Howard Stern. Is super dope. The Greatest Show. This was the ring entrance for the Oddities when they were in WWF back in the day before it was WWE. And that song is fire. I'm Violent J and I fucked your mom. I love that shit. That beat, that's some Malenko era type shit. I love that song. Probably my favorite song on the ground. And then you even got Raised from the Ground, an early demo of Everybody Rise. Super dope. Love this shit. Completely different song. And it's just like, I love hearing these like early demos of songs. Super dope. Love that shit. And then we got Fuck My Dad, the diss to Violent J's father. That's just a super dope track. I'm an Alien with Project Pat. That shit is fire. Super dope. Man Cow Made Us. I love that track. Another, song for a radio DJ back in the day. Man Cow was in Chicago, I believe. And he was, trying to be like the next Howard Stern or whatever. I love that song. Man Cow made us rich and famous. Whole world hate us. Man Cow played us. Super dope. They even got the song that they did with Jack White, Mountain Girl. Not to lick my ass. Mountain Girls is okay. Production's weird. Not some like country twangy shit. I don't even know. But Volume 5 of Forgotten Freshness is a lot better than what I remember when it first dropped. I really like Volume 5 of Forgotten Freshness. And then coming in at the number 2 spot would be Volume 3. Volume 3 is up there, man. Pretty close. I'd say kind of close to Volume 1 and 2, but Volume 3 is a really strong Forgotten Freshness from ICP. You got Cartoon Nightmares, Posse on Werner, Fly Away, Run, Nothing But a Bitch Thing. Yo, they went in on Eminem on that song. It's been a while since I listened to that shit. And it got me to kind of thinking, is ICP the only artist to beat Eminem in a battle? Granted, Eminem never gave them like a full song. He did give them a full skit on the Marshall Mathers LP and like half a verse on one of the songs on that album. But did ICP win that battle? Seriously, I'm asking seriously. I'm not fucking joking around. Did ICP win the rap battle against Eminem? Because they went the fuck in on Nothing But a Bitch Thing. Talking about Violent J saying, talking about his daughter, how he feels bad for Eminem's daughter because her mother's a whore and she's got a bitch ass dad. Like, I'm not trying to rehash old shit, but that's some funny ass shit, man. It really is. You got Just Another Crazy Click on here. Every Halloween, Insane Killers, Confessions. Like, Forgotten Freshness 3 is really good. I think there's 2 or 3 songs I skip on here, but it's a really good project from the Forgotten Freshness series. Just super classic shit. And then, of course, my number 1 that I ranked in was Forgotten Freshness Volume 1 and 2, man. Like I said earlier, there's shit on this album that could make Joker's cards from, those first 4 cards that had dropped at the time. Because this was the in-between Great Malenko and Jekyll Brothers project that they put out. But I mean, shit. You got Hey Vato, Fat Sweaty Betty, Willie Bubba, I Didn't Mean to Kill Him, Southwest Strangler, fucking House of Wonders, the original version of Piggy Pie, which is way better than the version that made the Great Malenko album. I like the version that's on the Great Malenko album, but the one that's on Forgotten Freshness is just so ruthless and just so raw. Fuck Disney for having them censor that shit. And I'm glad that it eventually got released, but that shit is fire. And then, of course, tracks that were, previously released, like Halloween on Military Street, Witching Hour, Graveyard, Dead Pumpkins, Santa's a Fat Bitch. Like, damn near every song on Forgotten Freshness Volume 1 and 2 is good. There's only one song I skip, and it is, in my personal opinion, and this is a hot take, without a doubt, the most overrated ICP song, Mental Warp. I do not like that song at all. I never liked that fucking song. I don't get the hype for it, and I know I'm probably the only fucking juggalo that doesn't like Mental Warp. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they don't like Mental Warp, but I don't like Mental Warp. It's the only song on Forgotten Freshness Volume 1 and 2 that I don't like. I just never got into that song, but just classic shit, man. And it was super fun just going back, listening to the Forgotten Freshness albums, man. Even Volume 4, which I'm not a fan of. It's been so long since I heard it. I probably haven't listened to Volume 4 since the week it came out. It's been a long time since I listened to Volume 4. So even though I don't like it, it was good to go back to revisit it. And then to revisit Volume 6, like, hey, there's some pretty good songs on here. And Volume 5 as well. Just, it was fun going back, listening to it. I wonder if they're going to continue with the Forgotten Freshness series at some point. They still got to have unreleased shit that that's just sitting there somewhere. I always say unreleased shit should stay unreleased, but I like the Forgotten Freshness series, so I'll take it. If they're going to give us a Volume 7, 8, whatever, going forward, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but if you haven't peeped out, I saw a few people saying that they didn't check out any of the Forgotten Freshnesses after Volume 3. And if you're one of those ninjas, I got to say, you got to go back and peep, even though I don't like 4, but definitely 5 and 6. Those are super dope volumes, man. Like, they're pretty fucking good. Peep those shits out. And I like going back, listening to old albums like that. And I figure I'd make it a segment on this week's show. Why the fuck not? But I'm going to wrap it up. You hear the music. It's time to fucking wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in this week. Much love. Super appreciated. Big shout outs to Chris and Stockwell for sending in donations this week. Much love. Super appreciated. Thank you. I love you for your support. Much appreciated. And thank you again for tuning in to the Beneath the Dirt podcast. Much love. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.